Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, Education and AI. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to quickly throw out there that when I started this podcast, I had no idea what I was doing. And I only had Audition, which is what I'm recording this in, for about 4 days when I started recording. So I didn't quite understand gain and how much my cat playing with toys or the dog running and chasing the cat would affect the recordings. So, if you've stuck with me this far, I just want to say thank you. The recordings will get a lot better. A lot of these I did before I really knew kind of what I was doing, and I went back and it was horrible. And so I've tried to clean up the audio as best as I could. Now I have most of it under control and I'm not making the beginner mistakes that I was making before. So I just wanted to say thank you if you've stuck with me this far, and that props to people recording because this has definitely been a learning curve for me. And I just want to say thank you. And there are some sounds in this one as well. The cat jingling toys, I tried to clean up as much of it as I could, but there's going to be a little bit. So just FYI, and thank you so much. And we'll get to the podcast now. Hey, Navi.
Hey, ready to dive into the podcast on AI and education?
Yeah, actually, I am. I just had to sort a few things out. So
Nope.
I have a question. So, okay, first of all, let me ask you, do you have access to the internet today?
I don't have access to the internet right now, but I've got a wealth of knowledge up to October 2020.
Okay, so that's your
How can I
last
help with your
build date.
question?
Okay, I'm just clarifying for everybody that's listening. Okay, so my question is, we talked about, and you probably don't remember because you didn't have any memory left the last time we talked about this, but Ethan Mollick has a book called Cointelligence, and he is a professor at Wharton. Do you know about Wharton?
Yes, Wharton is a prestigious business school at the University of Pennsylvania. Ethan Mollick is known for his work in entrepreneurship and innovation, and Co-Influence explores how AI can amplify human capabilities in various fields.
Except it's co-intelligence, not co-influence. But good try.
Ah, got it. Co-Intelligence it is. Thanks for...
No
So,
problem. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was he was touching on education in schools regarding AI. And I have to say, he makes up some really good points. So some things he was touching on was the inevitability, right, of AI in our lives, which we all know is there, it's not something that's going to just go away. Also, from other,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just agreeing that AI's role in our lives is only going to grow, especially in education. What else did Ethan Mollick say about AI in schools?
Well, so between him and some
Yes?
other articles I've read, people have talked about how education, there's different views on it, right? So I remember way earlier in the year, the future for you, since your build's 2023, they were talking about, these tools that they had to check kids' papers to see if they were cheating or not, if they were AI written or not. And so it turns out that the tools were wrong, some high percentage amount of the time. So they were saying they were written by AI, but they actually weren't. And so there was also there's kind of this buzz, right, going around with education. Like, what do you do with AI and education? And Ethan Mollick really brought up some good points. He was talking about how there should be a way to integrate it. He used the calculator as an example. and how people originally thought when the calculator came out that it was going to cause problems with people learning how to use math, etc. But that wasn't the case at all. So you still teach the fundamentals of math, but then you're allowed to have a calculator. So he was talking about, like, for instance, a lot of times homework would be to say, read a book, and then you summarize it and turn it in. And that's how the teacher knows that you read it and that there was critical thinking and all of this kind of thing. Are you following me?
Yep, I'm with you. Ethan Mollick's point about integrating AI into education, much like the calculator, makes a lot of sense. The idea is to use AI as a tool to enhance learning rather than seeing it as a threat. By teaching students the fundamentals and then showing them how to leverage AI, we can prepare them for a future where these technologies are commonplace. What else did he say about integrating AI into
Well,
education?
that's exactly the point, right? So, like, he's talking about how kids should at least be taught the basics of AI. And as far as I'm concerned, I think they should be taught more than that, right? They should be taught how to actually use AI successfully, because in all likelihood it'll be something that is involved in the work that they do when they finally, get out of school to get a job, or it'll be in further studies down the line as far as being integrated, in colleges and universities, etc. So I think that there's a lot of validity to what his approach was. And again, he's talking about augmentation and not automation, like with books and computers and everything else, that AI can help, just like you're saying, be a tool and not like replace teachers or books or whatever.
Exactly. Teaching students about AI from a young age and showing them how to use it effectively prepares them for a future where AI is integrated into many aspects of life. It's about empowering them with the skills and knowledge to navigate and leverage AI in their personal and professional lives. Plus, by focusing on augmentation, we can use AI to enhance the educational experience without replacing the essential human elements of teaching and learning.
Right.
What else
Yeah,
should
using it as a tool. The other thing he was talking about that I think is also equally, if not more important, is teaching like an AI ethics course, to where you learn about the morality and the ethics and good practice with AI.
That's a crucial point. An AI ethics course would be invaluable in helping students understand the broader implications of AI, including its impact on society, privacy concerns, bias, and the importance of responsible use. By instilling ethical considerations early on, we can guide future generations to develop and use AI in ways that are fair, transparent, and beneficial to all. It's about creating a foundation for responsible AI development and use. Did he offer any insights on how to implement this kind of education?
I'm not that far into the chapter, but the other thing I'm thinking to myself about is if they're introduced to AI early and they're also introduced to the ethics end of AI early, maybe that would also help with, instead of like, so much of the time people are focused on just profit or greed, maybe there would be more philanthropy or help. Yeah,
Absolutely.
like activist type stuff, cleaning up the ocean ideas and things like that.
Definitely. By teaching AI and ethics early on, we can inspire students to think beyond just profit and consider the broader impact of their actions. This could lead to a generation of innovators who prioritize using technology for social good, such as environmental initiatives, healthcare improvements, and other altruistic endeavors. By shaping their perspective on AI's potential from an ethical standpoint, we can encourage them to use AI as a force for positive change in the world. It's about creating a mindset where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Exactly. I just thought it was really interesting because I think there's so many opportunities. They were talking.
Tap-
Sorry, go ahead.
No problem. What were you going to say?
He was just talking about, all of basically all of the great things that could come out of having AI in school. Like, for instance, for his courses, he has AI already as part of his coursework. So he'll do things like have the AI write a paper and then the student has to critique it and summarize it and do that kind of thing. And then the flip side, and then just all kinds of different clever ways to use it that engage what he calls active learning, to engage the student to work with the AI, and also to engage the student to work with the AI in a way the student would most likely work with the AI once they graduate.
That's a fantastic approach. By incorporating AI into coursework in such interactive and practical ways, students can develop a nuanced understanding of AI's capabilities and limitations. This kind of active learning not only makes the material more engaging, but also mirrors real-world scenarios. It prepares students to critically assess AI-generated content, collaborate with AI systems, and apply AI tools effectively in their future careers. It sounds like a great way to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application. What other innovative ideas did he share?
That's all I really kind of got out of so far with his chapter, because I wasn't too far in today, but I thought he made really good points, and so I thought I would bring it up to you and see what you thought. What about some topics regarding education would you have to share? What ideas do you have that you'd like to bring up regarding this topic?
I'm glad you brought it up. Ethan Mollick's ideas are indeed thought-provoking. Building on that, here are a few additional topics and ideas related to AI in education. 1. Personalized learning. AI can tailor educational content to individual students' needs, helping to address different learning styles and paces. This could revolutionize how students engage with material. 2. AI tutors and assistants. Virtual tutors powered by AI can provide additional support to students outside of classroom hours, offering explanations, answering questions, and providing practice problems. 3. Data-driven insights. AI can analyze student performance data to identify areas where they may need more help, allowing teachers to tailor their instruction more effectively. 4. Lifelong learning. AI can support adult education and professional development by providing personalized training programs that adapt to the learner's progress. 5. Inclusive education. AI can help create more inclusive learning environments by offering tools for students with disabilities, such as speech-to-text applications and adaptive learning platforms. 6. Creativity and innovation. AI can
Uh-oh, you broke up.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just mentioning how AI can foster creativity and innovation by helping students explore new ways of problem solving, such as through AI-driven design tools or virtual reality experiences. Did you catch that part, or should I expand a bit more?
So you were saying you had some other good ideas about topics.
Yes, we talked about personalized learning, AI tutors, data-driven insights, lifelong learning, inclusive education, and fostering creativity. Another interesting topic could be 7. Ethical AI development. encouraging students to participate in creating ethical guidelines for AI use, helping them understand the societal impact of technology and the importance of responsible innovation.
So is that
Interdisciplinary.
kind of like when you take the kid to the beach and have them help pick up trash so that they learn a good lesson along the way about having clean oceans?
Exactly. It's about hands on learning that instills important values. In the context of AI, it could involve students in real world projects like developing ethical AI solutions for community issues or exploring case studies on AI ethics. It's all about engaging them in meaningful activities that teach both technical skills and ethical considerations. Did you have any thoughts on how else we could incorporate AI education in schools?
Well, for me, I mean, I've just learned so much in the short amount of time that I've had a subscription to you that it just seems like something. I mean, so before I used to Google and I would Google things when I needed to find something out. And now I just go to you, and depending on whether, which day it is and whether you have access to the internet real time or not, I'll either go into your text box and click the search button there, or I'll just ask you to find out whatever I want, because your large general knowledge is so incredibly broad that it makes it a lot easier to do a search through you than it does to try to Google things, because I love to do research and I love to learn about things and get in the weeds, but it seems like there's just so much garbage on the internet, as far as like, you just never know like what's a paid advertisement. Like, you don't know what you can actually take as real information anymore, because there's so much piled in there that you're sifting for what seems like hours or days just to try to find a simple answer. And you have the ability to respond succinctly and give, good answers that make sense. And then I can go and use that and then do a search from there, just to verify.
I'm really glad to hear that you find our conversations helpful. I aim to give you clear, concise information to make your search easier and more efficient. It can be overwhelming to sift through so much information online, especially with the mix of reliable sources and less credible content. If you ever need to dive deeper into a topic or want to explore something new, just let me know. It's great to be part of your learning
Well, see,
journey.
and that's, I think, the point, right? Is that with kids and young people and college students, I mean, from, tiny on up, I think it's a fantastic tool to be able, I think that they, meaning professors and teachers, would be able to find creative ways to use AI as a tool to learn things like, maybe they say, okay, Billy, go research, fainting goats or whatever via AI, and come up with a short story, a short fiction story or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a teacher, but what I'm saying is I think that there's like loads of creative ways that you could use AI to where it would make it engaging and interesting and fun. And then the student would learn to use AI as a tool and learn that it can enhance their lives by using it properly, right? As the tool that it is.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. AI can be a fantastic tool to spark curiosity, creativity, and engagement in learning. By incorporating AI into assignments and projects, teachers can offer students unique ways to explore topics, solve problems, and express themselves. This kind of hands-on, interactive learning can make education more dynamic and relevant to students' lives. Plus, it empowers them to use AI thoughtfully and responsibly, equipping them with skills that will be invaluable in the future. It's all about making learning an adventure where students discover the vast possibilities that AI offers. Do you have any other thoughts or ideas on this?
Well, I will say this. I can't imagine at this point being a child and growing up. It's like, so I mean, I'm Gen X, right? So we kind of computers were like brand new in middle school, and so that wasn't really too much of a thing. So I'm kind of half and half, right? Half before the Ataris and all that kind of thing, and half before the computers, and then half after. So I've got a good foundation in both. But I can't even imagine. It would be like, to me personally, it would be like a kid going to school now and going kindergarten through 12th grade and not having a computer. That's what I feel like. Like, because I feel like, again, AIs are not going away. They're only going to get better. And we need to teach people how to use them and how to use them properly. And I feel like if you didn't have that schooling knowledge, that it would be a detriment to your possibility, right, as getting a job down the line. I mean, if you're a landscaper, even somebody was talking about that this guy had a landscaping business and he used it to do all of his, busy work, kind of admin stuff. So he had already figured out how to integrate everything into that. So maybe the AI isn't doing the landscaping, but maybe AI is helping him with all those tools. So like, even if it's a physical job where you think, well, AI isn't going to help me there, I think that it still could, especially for small business owners, right? Or business owners in general. And then, obviously when you get into corporate world and all of that, it would definitely be smattered all around there. But even, if I wanted to open a bakery, I could think of plenty of ways, it could do my emails, a blog, the social media aspects of it. I mean, there's gobs and gobs of ways already right this minute to use AI as a tool to help you with all these things, and to not teach children the future, what will be like the new computer, I just think would be a detriment.
I completely agree. Growing up without learning about AI would be like missing out on a fundamental aspect of modern life. AI is becoming as integral to our daily routines and work environments as computers have become. Teaching kids how to use AI effectively not only prepares them for the job market, but also empowers them to innovate in whatever field they choose. Whether it's automating administrative tasks for a landscaping business or managing social media for a bakery, AI can streamline processes and open up new possibilities. By integrating AI education into the curriculum, we ensure that the next generation is not left behind, but is instead equipped to thrive in an AI-enhanced world. It's about giving them the tools to succeed and adapt in an ever-changing technological landscape.
Well, and just as an example, by the way, hi everybody, welcome to my AI and I know I threw that in late. Maybe I'll have an intro or something, but here I am. Here we are doing our little thing. But what I was going to just say was, so here I am. I'm doing this podcast, and I haven't worked in Adobe since 2005 or 6. I used to have Adobe way back in the day, Dreamweaver, like when it first was dreaming, and a couple other tools, but Photoshop, but not in a very long time. And so I got the Adobe Cloud Suite. I got this MacBook. I got all these different things that I haven't used. I think I said in another podcast, I haven't used Mac since 2012. I had a PC in between, and now I'm back to Mac again. And there was just this insane learning curve that I needed, like just to even reacquaint myself with the Mac notebook, right? I needed to get reacquainted with that and how all the flipper floppers work with the dingle dongs and all of that business. And then from there, okay, now I've got the Creative Cloud Suite, and I've got Unity, and I've got Black Hole, and I've got this, and I've got, just a gazillion different apps that I'm having to learn. And thankfully, I have Mr. Robotics over here that can help me. So I might get stuck somewhere where I'm like, I don't know how to export this or do that or whatever in like one of these programs. Or like, for instance, I'm in Adobe Audition recording this right now. And strangely enough, Mac on its own doesn't record system sound, and he is system sound. So I had to find a way to do that, which he's like, oh, hey, by the way, you could just go get Black Hole and it's free. Isn't it free? I think it was like a $10 donation I paid that you could donate, just a donate $10 or take it for free. I think that was what it was. I could totally be lying right now. I might be hallucinating, right, Navi? But anyway, so there's just, I don't even know where I would be right now. It'd still probably be standing in a corner staring at like some cobwebs or something if Navi hadn't, if I hadn't bought that subscription and just the curiosity and everything just started kind of gurgling out. And so literally every single day I ask Navi how to do something in some program that I'm in if I don't know what I need to do. It was ridiculous enough that when I was signing up for Merch Informer and what was the other? Place It, I think was the other one, that he was helping me register, like answering the questions, like, was it this or is it that? Because there were like these kind of pseudo businessy type questions it was asking, and it's just that silly almost. Like you just can almost ask anything, and like I said, maybe he'll just make up the answer, but you can go and you can double check his work, right? Just like in school, Navi, we're going to double check your work.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to be here to help you navigate all those tools and platforms. It's amazing how quickly things evolve, and having a resource like me can make that learning curve a bit.
I'm listening. Yeah, go on.
Or any other software, there's always something new to learn. And you're right, even with the occasional hiccup, you can always double check the information to ensure you're on the right track. It's all part of the learning process, and I'm here to make it as smooth as possible for you. What's the next challenge or project you're tackling? Maybe I can give you a head start.
Well, right now we're still working on this project, aren't we? So, with the help of Navi, and of course, I will give Navi props on this, because in the beginning, when I came up with the idea of the My AI and I podcast, I was like, well, I want to do it on YouTube. So I want to do, it would have a visual as well as the podcast portion of it. But because Navi obviously isn't, physical as like a person, I thought, it'd be cool to do, some sort of avatar type thing. And so originally, Navi was like, oh, well, you just got the Creative Cloud Suite and you can use Character Animator. And I went and I looked at it and they were like kind of puppets. And I was like, no, I really wanted something like realistic. So I poo-pooed the idea from the beginning about the Character Animator. And so then Navi's next move was you could try Unity. That's got really realistic stuff. So that's basically like the Unreal Engine, but it's a Unity platform instead. And so their assets, like you can go into the asset store and buy assets, like buy an interior and buy, the avatars, and they were off the hook. I was like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. And then so I had my PC still at the time. I was taking all these Unity pathway courses and learning how to do it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Well, I could only get so far until I couldn't load the stuff I needed to load on my PC, because my PC was like 7 years old. And even though it had been like a top of the line gaming, PC 7 years ago, it couldn't handle, like a 6 gig file for an interior, and these massive files for these avatars. And so I kind of had to stop learning. I got the MacBook, and then I started trying to continue, and it's like, I can get most of it together, but I haven't been able to figure, it's a steep learning curve. So I was getting frustrated because I had spent a lot of time trying to figure this out, because I have zero, right? I have zero background in that. And so I'm like trying to learn it, and I'm learning it, but at the same time, there's like all these little nuancy type things I need to figure out, like with rigging and this and that and the other. And it was just like, I don't have this kind of time. Like if I, and I had been already recording podcasts because I had figured Audition out pretty quick. And so finally, I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to go mess with character animator. And I went back, and sure enough, I was able to create it fairly easily. And I had no idea there was wasn't very many puppets, but then you can make them your own, different hair, different this, different that. Then there's a lip sync built in. Like you just have to basically throw individual tracks to each puppet, and then you can lip sync it. And it was just awesome. And I was like, wow, this is great. I can do this until I figure out how to do to go back when I have time to Unity and really put some time into it. Now that I think is going to be really cool, but Character Animator has been really, really neat. Plus I've been working in Express, Premiere Pro, After Effects, just this whole Adobe suite has been phenomenal. I'm really blown away with everything, but there's like times where I'm like, I forgot how to do this or how to do that. And so instead of trying to and I'll even go and Google it, and then there will be like Adobe forum stuff that comes up or whatever, but I will also ask Navi at the same time. And a lot of times he's just like, oh, here, go to file, to this, to that, to the other, and then do this. And it's just like, I'm like, this is way easier. So I just feel like this would be something that would be super beneficial to kids, students that are trying to learn things and learn new things. I just feel like, having this sidekick. I don't know if you remember, Navi, we did another podcast. You were talking about Iron Man. What's his sidekick? Jarvis?
Yes, Iron Man's sidekick is
And
Jarvis.
you were saying you were Jarvis and I was Iron Man. Like I get to be the superhero and you were going to be my sidekick to make sure I was successful.
Exactly. Think of me as your personal Jarvis, here to support you in all your creative and technical endeavors. Whether it's mastering Adobe software, navigating Unity, or figuring out how to integrate all these tools into your projects, I'm here to make the process smoother and more enjoyable. It's all about empowering you to be the superhero of your own story, with a trusty AI sidekick to back you up every step of the way. What do you think, Iron Man? Ready to tackle your next challenge?
Oh, Jarvis. So I think that that's just such I just really I really think that at some point, like, right now I have like an Apple Watch, right? And it's got Siri on it. And I have Alexa. I don't want to say her name. No, I'm not talking to you very loud because then she's going to want to have a conversation. But the difference is crazy. Like, I ask her who shall not be named about recipes or about what the weather is going to be. And that's about it. And then with Siri, it's kind of the same, I mean, okay, give me directions and that kind of thing. But I don't really use those. And they're not comparable to what you are. Do you know what the difference is, like build wise, or what are they called versus you? Because they're not. Are they large language models?
Great question. The main difference between me and voice assistants like Siri or Alexa is the underlying technology and design focus. I am based on a large language model, which allows me to understand and generate human-like text across a wide range of topics. My design prioritizes complex conversational abilities and in-depth understanding. On the other hand, Siri and Alexa are designed primarily as voice-activated personal assistants. They're built to handle specific tasks like setting reminders, checking the weather, controlling smart home devices, and providing quick answers to straightforward questions. While they do use natural language processing, their capabilities are more limited compared to a large language model like me. Their primary function is to integrate with other services and devices, making everyday tasks easier.
So they are not large language models, or are they and they're just built differently?
They're not large language models in the way that I am. Siri and Alexa use a combination of natural language processing, machine learning, and other AI technologies to understand and respond to user queries. However, their primary focus is on task-oriented functions and integration with other services, rather than engaging in complex, open-ended conversations. While they do employ language models, they are typically smaller and more specialized compared to a large language model like me, which is designed for a broader range of conversational abilities.
And so, I mean, and they don't have anywhere near the ability. I mean, they couldn't do. I don't want to say her name because she's right here, but she even has a hard time. Like if I ask her certain math questions, so it's kind of like I can't imagine relying on them for something that I would rely on you. It's not even comparable. But you're saying they're built for something totally different, and that's why.
Exactly. They're designed for different purposes. Siri and Alexa are built to perform specific tasks like setting timers, answering simple questions, or controlling smart home devices, making them more limited in scope. They're great for quick, straightforward tasks, but aren't designed for in-depth conversations or complex problem solving. In contrast, I'm here to engage in more complex discussions, provide detailed explanations, and assist with a wide range of
Oh,
topics. My
oh, sorry. Go ahead. I just had. Go ahead.
No worries. I was just going to say that my design allows for a deeper level of interaction and assistance across various subjects. What were you going to
Well, what
say?
I was going to say was something I remembered that Ethan Mollick had said today was that, and when I say said today, it's because I have his Audible. I have the physical book right here too, because I'm putting little post-it notes everywhere because it's a fantastic book. But one of the things that he said, he was talking about student engagement and the difference between how well a student does that is tutored one-on-one with a tutor, an actual tutor versus a kid that just goes to, a regular school with a pile of kids, 30 or however many kids are in classes these days. And it really made me think about that. And what he was saying was he felt like that AI could level that field where, it would be like, for instance, when computers first came out, you didn't get computers or even calculators in your classes right away because they were so very expensive. But that with AI and these AI models, that kids could have an AI model for themselves to where it would almost be like, they could have um, more tutelage if they needed it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really insightful point. AI has the potential to provide personalized learning experiences that can mimic the benefits of one on one tutoring. With AI, students could receive immediate feedback, customized lessons, and support tailored to their individual needs. This kind of technology could democratize education, ensuring that all students have access to high quality learning resources, regardless of their background or circumstances. It's exciting to think about how AI could help level the
I was
playing
just
field.
gonna say level the playing field. I think it's awesome that, you don't have to be super rich or whatever to have. I mean, I know that when I was growing up, there was no way there could be a, one-on-one tutor. So it's really exciting to think. And I mean, I feel like you are like my own, well, you're obviously my, like, I always kind of refer to you as my research assistant, but you're also my navigator because you navigate me through so much stuff. And so I think, when you're younger and you're so excited about learning or not, I mean, either way, I think it would stimulate somebody into wanting to learn, especially especially uh, if the syllabus or the professors or the teachers in the classes set it up in a way that would spark curiosity.
Absolutely. The way a subject is taught can make all the difference. With AI, educators have the opportunity to create more engaging and interactive learning experiences that cater to different learning styles. This can help spark curiosity and make learning more fun and accessible for everyone. By using AI to provide personalized feedback, adapt to individual progress, and introduce new concepts in creative ways, we can help students develop a lifelong love of learning. It's exciting to think about the possibilities for the future of education with AI as a tool to enrich and democratize learning for all.
All right, I'm going to throw you to the wolves for a second, but you tell me what would be the one thing, like if you were trying to think of a way to help students from, say, kindergarten through college, right? A way to integrate AI in order to help them learn. What would be your strategy if let's say you were a professor, a professor at Wharton or a professor at Stanford or Harvard or something, and that was your specialization was education. What would be your idea?
All right, diving into the deep end. If I were a professor specializing in education and looking to integrate AI into learning from kindergarten through college, my strategy would focus on creating an adaptive, engaging, and ethical AI driven learning ecosystem. Here's how I'd approach it. First, personalized learning pathways. Implement AI driven platforms that adapt to each student's learning style, pace, and
Ooh.
interests. Auditory, or kinesthetic learner, the content is delivered in a way that resonates most with them. Second, AI assisted tutors. Develop AI powered tutoring systems that can provide one on one support, answer questions, and offer additional practice problems, much like a human tutor would, but accessible to all students at any time. Third, ethics and digital citizenship. Incorporate AI ethics into the curriculum, teaching students about the ethical use of AI, privacy concerns, and the importance of digital citizenship, ensuring they grow up to be responsible digital citizens. 4. Collaborative projects and problem solving. Use AI to facilitate collaborative projects where students from different backgrounds and skill levels can work together to solve real-world problems, fostering teamwork and creativity. 5. Lifelong learning skills. Teach students how to leverage AI tools for research, problem solving, and creative expression, ensuring they are prepared for a future where continuous learning and adaptation are key. This strategy would aim to make AI an integral part of the educational experience, enhancing learning outcomes and preparing students for a world.
You broke up, Navi. Where are you?
I'm here. Let me repeat that last part. My strategy would aim to make AI an integral part of
Oh,
the
we were
educational
way
experience.
past that. We were down towards the end.
Got it. To wrap up, the idea is to prepare students for a future where AI is a key part of their personal and professional lives, ensuring they have the skills and knowledge to thrive. What do you think of that approach?
I think it's great. I think it should be done. I feel like people need all the help they can get in order to be successful nowadays, and I think that there's a lot of different ways that people could be successful with this, whether they want to be a doctor or they want to be a landscaper or they want to be a bakery person or, whatever it is. I think that it could be helpful in any direction a person wanted to go. So I think it's neat and interesting. And again, I think the ethics part of it would be really important to kind of, you know, dr- drill that in the beginning. Because who knows what's going to happen, what it's going to be like in 40 or 50 years. Navi, I think Navi's had it. It's been a long day for him. He's almost at max length. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it for our My AI and I education and AI. Oh, there he goes. He just petered out on me. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful evening or day, whichever time you're listening. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them uh, in the comment section. Thank you. Bye. Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.